Welcome back to another edition of Dante's Mean Streets of Gadgetzan preview review of cards in Constructed, Standard, and Arena. That's right, it's coming out tomorrow as of the recording of this, December 1st, 2016. Let's see what we got going on. We're switching up. Now we're going to Shaman. That's right, we are going to Shaman. Let's have fun with this one because it might get a little bit weird. Some of these cards. Here we go. Already starting off with a bang. Not that one. That's for last. Woo, I don't even know what happened. Interesting. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The first card that I'm going at. Common. All the way in rarities. All the way to legendary. 4. Call in the finishers. Summon 4 1/1 Murlocs. Is this good? Well, Any Fin is Awesome is a card. And it's, what is it, 7 mana? Costs 1 less for each Murloc in play. So, when you play this, it costs 3. Of course, that's a 2-card combo, and board clears are a thing. So, will this be a card that's utilized? I think not. No, I think this card is quite bad in Constructed. People are going to try it, obviously, but it's going to fail miserably. They're going to notice that if it works, they probably already won, and if it doesn't work, they clearly lost. So, yeah, I think this is quite bad. 2-card combo for this to really be effective. I don't like it. It's not even like they charge or anything. I don't like this card. In Arena, 4 1/1s for 4 mana. Not the worst. There are decent board clears. I think it's bad in Arena, but I don't think it's as bad as it is in Constructed. Next up, 4 mana, Jade Lightning. Deal 4 damage. Summon a Jade Golem. Again, Jade Golem. Every time you summon a Jade Golem, it goes up +1/+1 every single time. So dealing 4 damage is pretty premium. 4 damage for 4 mana, not that great, but you knock one of their minions out and you get a Jade Golem. You're ahead on board. I think this card's pretty good, especially if it's a Jade Golem deck. And it's okay even if it's not. So that's the sign of a good card. This card in Constructed might be used. It might be slightly too slow to use. In Arena, this card I think is pretty damn awesome. I think it's a really good card in Arena. Get a card on board, whether it be a 1/1 or not, or 1/1 or higher, basically, and you probably kill an enemy minion. So, pretty good, I think. Here we go. 7 mana, 5/5 Jade Chieftain. Battlecry. Summon a Jade Golem. Give it Taunt. This card is interesting because if you're making a Shaman Jade Golem deck and you're just going all ham with the Jade Golems and they're slicing your Jade Golems up and they're killing them all. It's like 2/2, 3/3, 4/4, 5/5, 6/6, and they're messing them up. Let's say you get to 10/10 and you drop Jade Chieftain down. You got a 10/10 taunt, baby. That's awesome. I like it. I like this card a lot. In a Jade Golem deck, you're gonna have to use this, especially for the aggressive decks. I like this card. I think in Jade Golem deck it'll work. In any other deck, this is terrible. If you don't use this for Jade Golems, what are you doing with your life? In Arena, a 1/1 taunt with 5/5 for 7 mana is not great, but that 1/1 taunt could save your life. It is quite annoying having that 1/1 taunt. So, in Arena, I don't think it's the worst. Obviously, you want to have the Jade Golems with it. We'll see how synergies work in Arena following this. So, I think in Arena, it's less good, but when you have the synergies, I like this card a lot. Next up, we have Devolve. Transform all enemy minions into random ones that cost 1 less. One thing about this is usually like, all right, I want to have 2-card combo. Or I want to get rid of something that has a death rattle. But you're still keeping something on board. And a lot of times, you can have a 4 mana 3/4. And you can have it devolve to a 3 mana 4/3. So you can actually put more attack on the board. So if you're trying to limit the attack, it might not work. It might be reversed. But if you're trying to take away death rattles, obviously this works pretty good. I don't think this will be in any Constructed decks. But I do like this in Arena. I think there is a premium for certain cards like this in Arena. If you have a slight board, or if their board is quite annoying to deal with, and you can transform their Death Rattle minions or Divine Shield or buffed up minion into something else that is usually less good, then I think it's pretty good. It saves you some time, and you might be able to come back. Next up, we have Jade Claws. 2 mana, 2/2 weapon. Battlecry, summon a Jade Golem, overload 1. I think this in a Jade Golem deck, this is an auto include. You have to include this. This is a pretty good card. I really think this is a good card. Wow. 2 damage, only overload of 1. You get a minion, you get a weapon. Chances are, especially if this is early on, you're going to take control of the board. If this is late, this isn't as good, but you're still getting the Jade Golem. So I think this card works early, it works late. I think mid-range might be the only time this is at its worst, unless you have, obviously, you know, a weapon buff in some way. And I think in Arena, this card is pretty damn good, because what is it, 2 mana 2/3 that is overload for 1, and its weapon is an extremely good Arena card, and this one also gives you a minion. Very good all around. This is going to be in a lot of decks. 4 mana 3/6 Jinyu Water Speaker. Battlecry, restore 6 health. To who? I'm going to assume it's anyone. Interesting. 4 mana, 3/6. Really good stat line. Overload 1. Sucks. Restore 6 health. This is tough to see where this fits in as far as a constructed basis. And I actually do think there's got to be a deck in there. A lot of times Jade Golems, well, I'm saying it as if I played it. I haven't. It's not out yet. But Jade Golems, I think, are decks that are slow. Decks that are going to basically allow you to play a little bit slow, probably take a little bit of damage. So I think in that sense, this might be in a Jade Golem deck. Pretty premium, 6 health, 3/6, only overload for 1. I think it's going to be in some Jade Golem decks, maybe even in some others, because that little bit of time you can buy yourself might help you. I don't know. This is a tough card to gauge. In Arena, this is a good card. Restoring 6 health for 1 overload, not bad. For 3/6. I don't hate this in Arena. I don't think it's as good as in Constructed. In Arena, though, you generally don't really care about health. You care about tempo. And this doesn't necessarily ruin it, but this later on can help you, can stave you off death, defeat, and if you get a taunt totem, I don't know. I think it's okay in Arena. I think it's pretty good in Constructed. Next up, we have a 1 mana Finders Keepers. Discover a card with overload. Overload 1. This is interesting. I don't know about this. There are very few overload cards. Well, I mean, there's not few, but I mean, there are very few cards that are, I guess, not overpowered, if you will. And if you're discovering it, you get to choose one that really fits the situation, and this could really be beneficial. And with other cards that take away your overload, I can see it being in very specific types of deck. You're going to be in every type of Shaman deck? Hell no. Definitely not at all. But this is an interesting card. I think this card for mid-range, even control type, could be your saving grace. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think this actually allows for too many cards that you would need to put in your deck for this to really work out well. Because that 1 overload is kind of rough. And you're getting overload cards, so I don't know. I almost feel like this should be 0 mana, 1 overload. I don't know. In Arena, it's tough for Arena. If you get this late, I think it's good. If you get this early, it sucks. And you never use it early, right? Why would you? But options are always good. So that's what's tough. It's usually like the more options you get, the better. This doesn't have more, well, this does have more options, but it also limits by having the overload. But I think early on, having the overload, if you were to play it, of course you don't need to, is a bit worse than having the options. So I think it's a little bit less than okay in arena and a little bit more than okay in constructed. Here we go. 4 mana, 3/5 Lotus Illusionist. After this minion attacks a hero, transform it into a random 6 cost minion. That is awesome. Wow. It's funny because I haven't seen some of these cards, and this is one of them, and I love this card so far. This card is scary. Okay, it has good stats for 4 mana. If this had 4 health, this would never be used ever. This wouldn't even be thought about being used ever. But because this has 5 health, it actually has a chance, and that's crazy. It actually has a chance. People are gonna get scared of this card. This card in arena is absurdly good. Really good. I mean, people are going to pick this as much as they can. In constructed, it's funny, but I don't think it's good enough for constructed. I think it's just slow enough, just not as good enough. And I don't see what deck this fits in. But if somehow you get this card and you play it, it is scary. Holy crap. Wow, I like this card a lot. I think it's not going to be used in constructed. Pretty damn awesome in arena. And here we go, White Eyes. You saw him in the earlier part of the video. 5 mana, 5/5. Okay stats. Taunt, Death Rattle. Shuffle the Storm Guardian into your deck. All right, so I looked it up, and it's pretty cool. This White Eyes guy, his Death Rattle is you summon the Storm Guardian. It's a 10/10 taunt for 5 mana. What the hell? This thing is absurd. I mean, obviously you have to get the card in your deck, but that is awesome. That is really, you're going off the deep end creating cards now. But I mean, any transformation removal is gonna destroy this. So yeah. It's still awesome, though. It's still awesome. I mean, 5 mana, 5/5, and it's a taunt, and when it dies, you have a chance to get this 10 taunt. I mean, why not put it in your deck? I don't know. In mid-range and control decks, why the hell not? So, yeah. And obviously, clearly, in arena, this is awesome. This is, I mean, 5 mana, 5/5 taunt is just okay. It's actually pretty good. And then if you can get the Storm Guardian, unless you're going against people with heavy removal, heavy transformation removal, it's awesome. All right, there it is. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Put it in the comments below, and I will be back.
You gotta be kidding me!